Hi, hi, hi. Hello from Copenhagen. Guess where I am? Where am I?
In Copenhagen, at my place.
Woohoo! So I'm so excited that we have been here for about 4 or 5 days now. 4 days? I don't know. I've lost track. And just wanted to say hello to the Facebook world. Thank you for tuning in. I've missed you, and now here we are.
Here we are.
So say something. Like, she's never at a loss for words. So for those of you that don't know, or maybe you're just discovering, this is the illustrious Helena Philipson. She is the co-founder of the Real Self-Love Movement. And I'm so excited that we're here saying hello because we have been in workshops for the last couple of days, and it has been awesome sauce. And hello, Sarah Brandis. Hello, Lena Kirk. Lena, it was good to have you here. It was so good to see you again. Good day. So definitely let's share this, Sarah, to the Real Self-Love Movement and the community and all of our various pages, because I really wanted to take this time to just update people on what's been going on for us with the Real Self-Love Movement, because this was our very first in-person Real Self-Love Days, which was the brainchild of Helena Philipson. She was the one that said, wouldn't it be cool if we got together in different cities around the world? And, it was this love fest. And that's really what it was, right?
Absolutely. And I think actually maybe that's why I may appear only to be a little lost for words, is because we just ended this amazing weekend, right? These 2 days, and I'm still kind of blown away from it because it was the first, as you said, and it was the connection and the love and the movement has been born for a while from Real Self-Love Mama, as I always call her.
I'm the mama.
Whether she likes it or not, the Real Self-Love Mama. But now we did the first Real Self-Love Days, and it just, for me personally, it just was beyond everything I could have hoped for. So I'm still a little love struck with everybody who was just here with us and all these amazing speakers that have come. Andrea has come from the States, and we had Willow McIntosh come in from the UK, and Anja Stensey here from Denmark, Helena Goldstein here from Denmark, Gitte Winter Graugård here from Denmark, myself, Helena Philipson, and then we had the coolest back office ops managers in Trevor Hahn and Natasha Lyle. So it's just been boom, boom, boom. So right now I'm just really happy to be here.
Yes. Love struck. And that's exactly what it is, Shimoni. So glad you're tuning in. And hello, Jeanette and Carol Fisher-Taylor, one of our Time to Rise authors. This was exciting because as much as we jump on Facebook Live and we're sharing the love on a weekly basis in our groups and on these live videos, this was really an opportunity for us to actually share, to dialogue, to preach, to teach, to sing. So this was really a magical event, I think. I did. I finally did it. I sang the song, which I would like to become the anthem for the Real Self-Love Movement. But the whole vision was, when you first brought it up to me, this idea of what if we got together? Because it's great that we meet online. I'm so grateful that many of you have tuned into our live masterclasses. So we did a masterclass with Chen Lizra. We did one with Jen Mavros. We have a recorded one with you and me. We have Taz Thornton coming up. We have so many leaders that we can jump on Zoom and you can learn from people from around the world, these real self-love leaders who have truly just given of their heart to share their wisdom with you. But to be in person takes it up a notch. Because as much as we love to connect online, there's a different energy when you finally get to hug people that you've only seen as a little, icon here on Facebook, to actually see you and to hug you and then to share. And speaking of sharing, I just have to say, Helena, now, for those of you that don't know, Helena can talk a lot. And she is a great storyteller. But you, my friend, blew me and everyone there away. You blew us away.
Thank you.
Was not a single person who wasn't completely captivated by Helena sharing her vulnerability, her heart, the whole understanding of why you are so passionate about teaching about codependency and self-love to set people free. It was amazing.
Thank you so much. It kind of makes me feel like what just happened at the Real Self-Love Days wasn't just a premiere. It wasn't just all this amazing connection. Not that there is a just about it, it's no just. I mean, definitely not. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is that for me, it was also a shaping, like a shaping of an understanding of where this can go and what this can do for us, you, us as a whole,
yes.
right? Not just speakers and like everybody's in this together. And so some sort of shaping happened that I hadn't really thought about it beforehand.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your amazing words. It was, for me, a debut on many levels with this type of event. So thank you, Lena. Thank you, Charlotte. And I just feel like we've launched something here, which is going to go many, many places in many ways that only sort of time and love will let us discover. Right? So this is just one way that we're living out this movement with you guys, because obviously there's the movement, I think, in here, there's our online community, then there is the meeting with those who have that opportunity or who choose so in real life.
Yeah.
Then there's the whole learning part that you just touched upon with the master classes and using the resources that are actually available to us all if we just kind of, okay, all I have to do is actually go here and watch this or tune into this, and I get a real amazing, I'm checking myself on how much I can swear on your Facebook Live. I swear a little bit sometimes. Some of you know this already. A lot of times, So, effing amazing like resources are at our fingertips within this movement. So I'm just so blown away. I really am. And also I'm dreaming. I can, my system is dreaming and cooking up more stuff.
Yes. Well, she is definitely one of the people that when we get together, we start cooking up and brainstorming and planning new stuff. The crazy thing is that it's while it's fun and it's engaging and it's totally inspirational, like I think everyone that I've talked to or received feedback from this event felt uplifted. But what was also happening at this event was the practical stuff. Because anybody can go to an event or you listen to some motivational speaker or you watch even some inspiring videos online or you read a really good self-help book. But there comes a moment in your life when you have to practice what you've just learned. You have to actually put it into practice so that it gets into your body and into your brain. Like all the good stuff that we're hearing and we're learning about you being truly worthy. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of joy. You are worthy of success and abundance and vitality. But for some of us, if we've had a past experience that for whatever reason, shaped us, molded us, made us feel that we were not worthy, there comes a moment where all that talk and all that learning that you do in a book or even at a seminar, you've got to put it into practice so that you step into a whole new expression of your life. There's literally an identity shift.
Yeah, and it's an integration, isn't it? It's
Exactly.
an integration of that identity shaping. And it's actually quite interesting that you use exactly that word because we talked about this during the Real Self-Love Days a little bit. We touched upon it a little bit. But I think a lot of us don't actually realize or we're not aware, which is totally okay, because how could we be, that some of the struggles we experience in everyday life and that we then search for these solutions for through different tools or inspirations, or is that we may be in some sort of an identity crisis. right? Whether it is growing into a new phase in our lives, whether it is expressing a new spirituality, whether it is healing old wounds or stepping into whatever awareness and growth, that whole, and there is an identity crisis in that. And for those of you who know ancient Greek, you'll know that crisis means development. And how awesome is that?
Yeah.
So that identity shift that you talk about, right? That I mean, it's big stuff.
It
And
is.
integrating that does, at least in my sort of personal and just my personal and professional experience, require practice.
Yeah.
It require getting it under our skin, right? Letting it go in there and seep into the cells and using it. Practice the baby steps.
Absolutely.
And to get there, we need to reach out and grab it.
Yep. And that's what we allowed people to do at this event. We were able to do certain exercises and really be a mirror to one another, so that as the soul deep within is being embodied even more and really taking center stage, if you will, in this drama of our lives, there is this moment where we're just we feel like we are a new person, and it feels awkward sometimes. If you've been in a habit of looking at yourself from a victim mentality. I mean, I love what, Shamani, you've said, we have to stop letting our wounds determine our worth. But yeah.
Word.
But it is this opportunity for us to say, okay, I may have been acting like a victim. I may have felt like everybody out there was doing something to me. But as we talked about during the Real Self-Love Days, there comes a shift when you take accountability for your life, where you put the past into the perspective of no matter who was to blame, if you will, for whatever happened, there comes a point of acceptance where you forgive yourself, you forgive others, and you say, that was then. I am responsible for my life going forward. And that's where the opportunity lies. But in that identity shift, we really do have to try it on, because sometimes there's going to be that part of our brain or those old voices in the head that say, well, who do you think you are? Well, no, I've always been. And so that's why I think the importance of the Real Self-Love Days in person, in a safe environment where you can voice your deepest desires,
Yes.
where you can get the healing for some of those wounds, and then you can celebrate the vision that you have for this amazing future. And to do that in a community like this,
Yep.
with so much love,
Yep.
with so much support, it's just incredible. So I thank you again, Helena, for nudging me and pushing me.
No, I thank you.
No, it is I who
No, I
thank
thank
no,
you.
it is I who thank you, darling. Anyway, so hopefully for those of you that wanted to be there but didn't make it to Copenhagen, and that's another thing. Like, I have to say, I am so humbled and so touched
Yeah.
for the number of people who came from far away,
Yeah.
from far parts of Denmark, from people who flew from the UK, from
Ireland.
Norway, from Ireland. I mean, it was from the United States.
Yeah.
That is huge to me.
Yeah.
That something about this mission and something about getting together with us touched people enough to get on a plane and, find an Airbnb or a hotel. So for those of you that felt like you missed out, don't worry. There's more love to go around. And in November, we're coming to the US of A.
Yeah.
Real Self-Love Days in Miami.
Miami.
Yes.
Miami.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So somebody please teach me how to salsa before we go.
yeah, we do. We all need to go salsa dancing. What's up, Taz? So
Hey,
good to see you.
Taz! And Helen.
Helen Rebello, yeah. So Shimoni says, crisis means development in Greek. Love that. A breakdown is definitely an opportunity for a breakthrough. I am
Yeah.
so with you. Oh, and Mikola.
Hi,
it is
Mikola!
so wonderful to see you in person after binging on all of your beautiful videos. Much love. So excited to have you all here. And Shimoni says, it's a bit like a new shoe. It's going to feel uncomfy at first. It's not going to feel if it's not real at first. Okay, it's going to feel if it's not real at first. Okay, that's right. We're gonna wear that shoe in a little bit. But it's like when you go to check out a new shoe, sometimes you want your best buddy to tell you, okay, girl, you working that pump right there. Get it. And that's kind of what we were able to do for each other. We were able to get there together to really be, once again, that mirror to one another that says, yes, you can step up and step out. I see you and you are amazing and I will support you. So that's what it was. Yes. And Taz, break down to break through. And I know you know all about that, don't you, Taz? So what are you most excited about for the future of the Real Self-Love movement, Helena?
Well, I think if anything, what I took away from these last 5 or 6 or however long you've been here, not just the Real Self-Love days, but if I'm taking anything with me in like bold letters, it is that we're growing.
Yeah.
And we're connecting. And I think we're understanding new ways to communicate also within this community that makes it even more relevant and that wakes up even more people to why real self-love is absolutely crucial for the balance and the health, right? So we talked about that whole, what's the difference between nice to have and need to have, and understanding why this is need to have, and how we can address that. And then I also think that this last week, it's become so clear to me how important it is that we use the Real Self-Love movement on Facebook, that we connect with each other, that we practice in the safe environment we have together in this group of people that we really truly are, all of us right here, right? That doesn't mean you had to be here these 2 days. I'm talking about you, all of us right here. Is that this is sort of a safe playground to start practicing voicing feelings or concerns or dreams or fears or pain points, because we can support each other. And so using this more, connecting more, engaging more. I mean, when I look at what one person shares on the Real Self-Love Days, one of you share in the group, and the ripples in the water it has for everybody watching, reading. You know, I would like everybody who watches this to sort of imagine that when one of you asks a question or shares a concern or voices a feeling or an important share, a win, even a dream, an ambition, then there is at least 1,000 or 10,000 other people out there with that same concern or with that same dream. So you're not just voicing it for yourself. Well, of course, it's okay that you are, right? But my point is that it creates a release and an opening for a shit ton of other people.
Yes.
And that is really, truly part of this magic, right? Is that every time one of us, one of you, one of us decides that we do dare, we can find that courage to say something, share something, it is such a healing for other people.
Yes.
So that is just amazing magic within this group, and connectivity is huge. Taz,
Yes.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Taz Thornton says, no such thing as a coincidence either. We'll all align as we need to, and that message will grow and spread. And it is spreading. It is amazing how many people are picking up on this vibe. And I want to just touch on one thing that you just said, and that was self-love. I think what came up was self-love to some people seems like just a nice thing to have. Like, oh yeah, if everything else in my life were fine, yeah, that would be a nice thing to go for. And one of the things that you've always said is we need a foundation first. I call it creating a cornerstone. You know, when people are building, you know, back in the day, building huge buildings, they always laid the cornerstone. And the cornerstone has so much significance, because you're taking down details of the founders of whatever that building or that society was. And so I believe that when we choose to align with our soul, our higher self, whatever you want to call that, your spirit, not just the ego that you know, your little package here, but what's deep in your heart. If you decide that you want to bring the best of you to the world, then you have to have that strong foundation of real self-love. It's not nice to have, it is essential. Because when we have that foundation of self-love, anything we want to build upon that foundation, whether that's a loving relationship, whether that's a thriving business, whether that's repairing our human temple, you know, creating more health and vitality, working with our children, working with Mother Earth.
Preach. But this is what I preach all the time. You
Yeah.
know, we're in 100% agreement.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it.
Right?
So understand that. This is not nice to have. This is a must have. Because when you have this foundation of self-love and that confidence to boldly, confidently step up as your real self, your authentic self, you are going to change the world. It starts with you, and it's going to have that ripple effect. And that to me was really juicy, because we heard some people really sharing how they could literally help transform the world and decrease the suffering on this planet. And for me, that just blows me away. So we've had some comments popping in, and beautiful Kimberly, who's also going to be in one of our upcoming books, she says, when one teaches, two learn. Love it. And Mikola says, it was amazing, the feeling of understanding and love there was in that room. There was so much love in that room. I love it. And she says, and a feeling of freedom of words, even though we were a lot of strangers in one room, she felt safe. So glad to hear that. Yay! And the lovely Helen Rebello says, absolutely, you'll never follow through on your intentions without self-love. So we definitely have to recognize that we're worth it. And it's not, as you say, Taz, it's not navel gazing. This idea of going within, a lot of people have told me before, oh, that seems so self-indulgent or selfish. No, it's not. And she says it's foundation stuff. It's our core strength. She says, Taz says, imagine lifting weights without core strength. We need to stop trying to carry life without it. Amen. I'm so right there with you, Taz. So we're looking forward to engaging with this community more. And I think now that so many of you were here. Hello, Bodil. It was lovely to see you as well. She says we are born with self-love. We need to be like a child. And if we can do that for each other in this group, online, with our live events, then we can tap back into that childlike creativity, that spark of love, that spark of joy, and that spark of hope. Like the hope that whatever's coming for our future, we're going to have a good future.
But also the healing, because I mean, that's something that pops up in my work a lot when I work with emotional eating and codependency, is that we can talk about a lot of this stuff, but if we really truly deep down have a core belief that we're not worthy, we have, it's almost impossible for us to take it in.
Yeah.
So that work and that healing with that inner child, to get to the point where we then are free, free to express and receive all that joy and love and build and let the dreams flow suddenly without feeling selfish or egotistical or wrong or too much or all of those things. So it is just absolutely magical work, and it is essential.
It is.
It is foundation first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But so, Andrea, I mean, it won't be too long before you leave us. You have one magic making workshop left.
That's
in
right.
the branding department, also with super amazing teachers participating.
Yeah. So we have a 2-day personal branding expansion intensive for people who've identified that they really want to go global with their message and their brand. So tomorrow we start that, also with the lovely Lightworks hosted by Helena. So I'll be taking some people through the advanced branding essentials. And yes, we have Willow McIntosh joining us for that again. We have Josh Smith from We Fill Events, who's flying in from the UK so that he can really teach, for those of us who want to be speakers, who want to fill events, how to really do it as a conscious business. Because even if you're a healer or a woo-woo transformational teacher, we have to really take our healing work seriously as a business. Because as we earn, then we can give more, then we can serve more. So I'm looking forward to that. And so that's a 2-day event, and then I'm out of here. I know. But guess what? I'm going to be back in September for someone's wedding. I wonder who. So it's so good. I've missed.
Yes, I've already picked out a really pretty peach colored bridesmaids gown. No, I haven't. I'm just kidding. There's nothing worse than mandatory clothes. Here, look, I have a fluffy meringue piece of clothing for you, my darling. It will look beautiful on you.
Oh, God.
It will show full leg, a lot of cleavage. No,
can you
sorry.
imagine?
Just kidding. Yes. But also, there will be an experience to real self-love a lot. Sir and Madam Real Self-Love a lot in Copenhagen again. We're not exactly sure when, but of course it will happen here again. And it will happen in the UK.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen some posts, but Taz Thornton and I are cooking up some personal branding stuff for the UK.
That's true.
In January. Yeah. So we might do what we did here. So this week we did branding, real self-love, and then branding advanced.
Hi,
Margareta! Hey, Margareta. She's been with us here as well. So we might end up adding in some real self-love for the UK. Would you guys like that? How many of you would join us in London for real self-love, where you can hear from some of these speakers and be in that bubble of love and acceptance and joy? And how many of you might like to join me and Taz Thornton in the UK for some personal branding? I mean, how nice is that at the beginning of the year? So you got a few more months to just own it, baby, and then let's take it out there so that you can definitely share your gifts with the world. I love it. Yes, and that would be awesome, Shimoni, where we would finally see you in person, because
yay!
It's been months and months and months. Oh, thank you, Sarah. She says London needs this. Amen. Yeah. And Taz, she says, my wife is waving madly and saying, me. Yes. Oh, okay. Margareta is saying we need to go to Milano.
We will happily do that.
I love Italia.
Okay, so maybe I should add that if you are sitting there thinking there is definitely an awesome opportunity for you guys to do Real Self-Love Days in my city, then I am the one you want to contact and dialogue with, and I can't promise anything, but I mean, real self-love for the world!
Yeah, we definitely want to...
Hi, Meta Louisa!
Yay, Meta! Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to spread this love around. And I think we're going to visit a number of countries. We just need to bounce around and make sure that we hit as many people as we possibly can. So thank you guys for joining us. We just wanted to share some of this love from Copenhagen because we have both been so full. And many of our Real Self-Love leaders said the same thing. Hearing back from Willow, from Anya, from Halina, from Gita, it was like, we just were kind of like struck with like, wow, how much love poured out of us and into us. It was such a magical experience. And I know that probably sounds like, yeah, of course you're going to say that, but it was magical.
I was going to say, if they've ever watched any of my Facebook Lives, they know that there is no BS. So if it sucked, we would have said so, and then we would have said we're going to make it better next time.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're back to the drawing board.
But you know what? But I just want to add that I was exchanging a message with Willow. I don't remember if it's this morning or whenever it was. And I think I wrote him something along the lines of like, what the fuck just happened? Right? And his answer was so beautiful because it was, he says, I always feel like this when something magical and truly transformational has been unleashed into the universe. It's like my body is quiet and just breathing while my soul is catching up to what just happened. Mm-hmm. And it just describes it so well because I've been like, and my soul is like, da-da-da-da-da-da, oh, this was awesome. When can we do it again?
Yeah, it is awesome. So guys, if you haven't already joined the Real Self-Love movement, for any of you who are newbies, then definitely tune in to the Real Self-Love movement. Just visit realself.love and you'll find ways that you can click and get bunches of free gifts. Whether you've gotten my book or not, you'll see my book there, but whether you got the book or not, you can get in to this movement, get downloads of the Real Self-Love Manifesto, guided meditations, master classes with Real Self-Love leaders. Okay, so a lot of So Carol Fisher Taylor says, we should plan some love for Canada.
Write me, Carol.
And
Write
Taz
me.
says she's in. Everybody seems to be in for Canada as well. Oh, and Helen Rebello says she can provide some Canadians too. Love it.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. I'm so happy to connect with you all. So grateful that you have been just able to tune in to some love. And yeah, I will be back in France as of Thursday. And maybe I'll get back into my normal flow of, connecting on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram TV. Like, oh gosh, we should have said something about that.
Yes,
like
we should
IGTV. How many of you out there are looking at Instagram and seeing that there's this whole new little icon? Well, we're going to be doing, I know I am. Are you going to do IGTV?
Yeah, I'm going to do IGTV. And we have a Real Self-Love IGTV channel.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, hello.
Between her and my daughter, they're like, let's just start it right now. So there's a new Real Self-Love group and channel for Instagram. So we can just start sharing even more, not just me, but all of the Real Self-Love leaders, those who are willing, of course, will step up and make lots of
Awesome,
noise.
Carol.
All right. So hit up Helena if you have ideas for cities or countries.
Hit me up.
You want us to visit with the Real Self-Love movement. Okay? Oh, wonderful. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much.
Much love to all of you. And hey, just continue to keep watching, keep tuning in, share what you've got to share. If you need help, if you need just some love, just post it. There's so much love in this community, just so much love. So I thank you. I want to wish you guys a fabulous rest of your week. Whatever it is you're up to in the world, just make it amazing. And remember that you are a gift to the world. So share your presence with passion. Much love. Yay. Bye.